Allow me to ask you a question, gentle friends. Who are the Gentiles? The popular definition is that it's anyone that's not a Jew. Upon closer scrutiny of the Bible and careful research of reference material, it is concluded the Gentiles are a specific race of people. I know you want to cut me off and say that you looked in the dictionary and the Strong Concordance yourself, and they both say the word means nations. Please understand the Strong is a great reference book, but it only lists how the word has already been translated in the King James Version. Meaning, if the word has already been mistranslated in the King James Version, the Strongs would inadvertently mistranslate the meaning also. A more accurate translation of the word may be found by examining how the word is used throughout the Bible. Believe it or not, this information was given to me from a student fresh out of seminary school. Seminary school. According to the Holman Bible Dictionary on the Goin, quote, though not synonymous in English, Gentiles, nation, pagan, heathen are variants chosen by translators to render goyim in Hebrew. Gentile and nation suggest race or territory, while pagan and heathen suggest religion. Example, according to the Theological Word Book of the Old Testament under Goy, use in the Old Testament, quote, in the Old Testament we find that Goy is seldom used with pronominal suffixes, only 7 times out of the more than 550 occurrences, and that the occasions when it is used are grouped into 2 sections. Genesis 10 and 5, 10 and 20, 10 and 31, 10 and 32, and Ezekiel 36 and 13, 36 and 14, and 36 and 15. In the first of these sections, Genesis 10, the pronominal suffixes refer back to the larger racial unit from which the nation derived, and the latter case to the land which the Goy lives. Example, in simple terms, there is not a single word that describes the true meaning of the word goyim in English, so the translators tried to use different words with different meanings to try to explain it. Going back and reading Genesis 10 again, we can plainly see by putting the word Gentiles, the translators were describing a race of people. They used the same Hebrew word again later in the same verse, but this time they used the word nations to show the Gentiles' territory. As you and I can plainly see by reading the entire chapter of Genesis 10 and remembering what we just read, the only seed of people mentioned to being Gentiles are the seed of Japheth. That's the white, Turks, and Asian people. This is also the reason the Israelites were called a Gentile nation from time to time. They were being called a heathen, wayward nation. The Bible actually pinpoints the names, the very nations that will be deceived enough to do battle on that great and terrible day. The way I see it, if the very same people that are mentioned to do war are the very same seed of the sons of Japheth, case is solved. Ezekiel 38, 1 through 7. And the word of Yah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And say, Thus says Yah, Behold, I am against thee, O God, and chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks into thy jaws, and bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling a sword. Cut. Now here comes the tricky part, the big fig Newton, as we will. Persian, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets. Gomer and all of his band, and the house of Tagmara, and of the northern quarters, and all of his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Example, I know you can't wait to say Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya are not European nations, but I beg you to understand the context in which it was said. Those 3 nations will be with them, meaning they are separate but within the main coalition of the willing. We know this because Yah continues the rest of the passage with European nations. Besides, with the exception of Ethiopia, the leadership of modern-day Persia and the Libyans are Ottoman Turks, light-skinned, meaning they are the seed of Japheth too. I have come to the conclusion it makes no difference what you want to call the Europeans. Their history cleaves to them like skin. is painstakingly obvious through the Bible and actual history itself. They are truly deceived people. Seeing what we can see, knowing what we clearly know, and experiencing what African Americans have clearly experienced, if you already know who will be your ultimate enemy in the near future, wouldn't it be prudent to avoid them today?